So let me phrase it this way. I think this is probably a better question. Do you believe that there's a God?
I do believe.
Okay. Say your faith is at a 7, or let's just say, put me more modest, 5. What would enable you to get to the 7? Or what is there an obstruction or a hurdle that prevents you? Is it because there's bad things that go on?
I think the bad things kind of overcome the good things. That's
let me challenge you, a very friendly challenge in this area. Okay, so that assumes there's good and evil, correct? You believe in good, or you believe in right and wrong?
Yes.
Okay, so where does the right and wrong come from if God doesn't exist?
The person's mind.
Okay, so morality is relative to the individual. It's a subjective thing. There really isn't an objective standard that exists outside of us. So if morality doesn't come from God, then it comes from the individual. Now, if it comes from the individual, that's your morality, that's your ethical code, right? And this person's ethical code, like Adolf Hitler, might vary from yours. Now, who at the end of the day, who is the arbiter that gets to say, this is the ethical code that is universally binding? Everybody has to observe this person's moral code. But in that world, no true morality exists. It's just a figment of our imagination. And so in that case, what valid complaint do we truly have with God if we're saying, God, you don't exist because there's evil? But evil is just a figment of our imagination if there is no God. Now, if there is a God and he says this is right and this is wrong, then there is a world where, whether we're in Europe or whether we're in America or whether we're in some barbaric tribe, there's a standard that everybody, so raping innocent people is wrong, murdering innocent people is wrong, right? Exploiting the vulnerable and the weak and the elderly is wrong, objectively wrong. But if there's no moral lawgiver, there's no moral law, and if there's no moral law, then what truly is our complaint against God?
It does make sense.